One of the things that a manager needs to learn is how to manage their team at each stage of its journey. But how does a manager do that if it does not know what happens on each stage? These are the things that we'll be talking about in today's session here at the Corporate Mechanic. Hi, this is Joey and welcome to the Corporate Mechanic, a show that features topics on management and leadership. Today, we'll be talking about teams. More specifically, we'll be talking about the different stages that the team goes through in its journey. I do believe that every one of us has been a part of a team at one point or another, and it's only a good thing that we as leaders, as managers, know how to manage our teams as we pass through the different stages. There are actually 5 stages that the team goes through. This is what we call the Tuckman ladder of team development. So every team, I guarantee you, regardless of what type of team you are in, whether you are in a basketball team, a sports team, you're in an office team, any team, any group of people, any organization that you're a part of will all go through these 5 stages. All right? So let's go with the first one. Now, the first stage is what we call the forming stage. Now, during the forming stage, this is actually the initiation of every project team. So this is the point wherein teams get to know one another, team members get to know one another. This is the hi, hello, I'm this guy, I'm that guy. Hi, I'm the project manager. Hi, I'm the team member. I am this guy, I'm that guy. It's at that point in time wherein we just get to know each other. In this scenario, when we are in the forming stage, people still tend to be in their best selves, in their best behavior. They tend to become a little bit more guarded because at that point in the project or in the team, you don't know everybody. You're just trying to wade through the situation, try to analyze and observe what this team, what this group is all about. So in terms of productivity, during the forming stage, there is very little productivity. And as a manager, as a leader, your role is to really get to gel people together. Okay, so that's the first stage. The next stage is actually what we call the storming stage. Now, this is the stage that nobody really likes to be in. But I tell you this, guys, every team will get into the storming stage, whether you like it or not. Unfortunately, though, for certain teams, it is a lot worse than others. So what do we mean by the storming stage? The storming stage is at that point in the team's life wherein we tend to build false or incorrect notions about our team members. This is this point wherein we think somebody is not performing, or we think that somebody is like mayabang, somebody is maanga, somebody is lazy, somebody is really not pulling his his weight in the team. So that's that stage. This is the point where confusion and chaos happens. This is because during the storming stage, we have very little knowledge of our team members. And sometimes this stage makes or breaks a team. If, for example, you have 2 very strong personalities in the team, and they tend to pick on one another, they tend to argue a lot. That's because they really don't know each other that much. There's a lot of there's a lot of negative vibes in that situation. Every team goes to that stage. Okay, every single team. So how do you actually fix this? How do you actually go about this? This is actually the reason why it is very much recommended that teams go through team building activities. Especially at this point. Actually, it's good that during the forming stage, you already start doing team building and you continuously build on that up to the point that you get into the storming stage, so that you can go past by the storming stage at the soonest possible time. Why? Because when we're doing team building, what this does is it opens the resources. You get to know the resources more than the workplace, more than how you see them in the workplace, more than, oh, this is the guy that I send reports to. When you do team building, you get to know that person in a more personal manner. So if, for example, just like what I mentioned a while ago, if there are two strong personalities in the team, for all you know, they might have come from the same college, or they came from the same province, or they have some similar interests together. So if you can build on those things, this will actually break the ice in terms of how we perceive the other members of the team. So it gels people together better. So before the storming stage becomes a really big problem for you as a manager, try to build the team. Try to do team building activities as early as possible. Okay? Now the third stage that a team goes through is what we call the norming stage. The norming stage is when you've already gone past storming, and then you already have a good idea on who you're working with. You have a good idea on your workmates, you have a good idea with your teammates and how they operate, what are their likes, their dislikes, how they do things. So everything's just chill, everything's okay. That's what you call the norming stage. Most organizations get to this level. And when we're here, we normally stay here for a very long period of time. This is the most common stage that teams get into. Okay? The norming stage. But then after that, there's a much, much better stage that we would like to be in. And this is what we call the perform stage. At the performing stage, this is the peak level of performance of team members. Okay? The whole team operates as one whole machine. This is what you call a mature team, a team that already knows how to do things, a team that already works, like clockwork. There are no inefficiencies in this team. So how do you get to the performing stage? Well, definitely a lot of that has to do with good leadership. Your ability to, again, continuously motivate your team, to continuously take out any negative issues or any concerns within the team members themselves, trying to continuously do team building activities in order to motivate them, in order to make them a well-oiled machine. That is the performing stage. That is where we want teams to be. Sadly though, not all teams get into that stage. And that is often because of poor leadership. Okay? So if you get to that stage, then you need to pat yourself on the back because you've been doing your job as a manager, as a leader. Okay? So the perform stage, this is where we want to be. This is the mature stage of teams. This is where you want your team to be. Right? Now, after that, we get to the last stage, which is what we call the adjourning stage. This is the point wherein the team basically ends. So either the company or the department has to close down, the project ends. So this is the point in time wherein team members have to leave one another in search of other teams, in search of other organizations. So this also happens at certain points, especially if you're involved in like project teams. Projects need to end at some point. And once that happens, as a leader, you have to make sure that you end on a good note. So even if the reasons why the team is adjourned, you have to make sure that you get the team to leave on a happy note, to make sure that they have fond memories of the team, that they are happy being a part of the team. Okay, you don't want to just basically end the team and say, oh, bye, that's it, talk to you soon, whatnot. You have to make sure that everything happens in a positive manner. Why? Why is that important? Because of the fact that you will at some point in time get to encounter these people again. You as a leader need to be able to establish these people that are under you, these people that are working for you in such a way that you'll never know at some point in time these guys may either be your clients, these guys may be your teammates again, these guys might even be your superiors. I've seen that. There have been situations wherein a leader at some point in time became the subordinate of his former subordinate in another company, in another organization. So don't burn bridges. Make sure that teams end on a positive note and that everybody is happy. So if you notice, the key ingredient in managing the team at different stages is really being able to build the team and to motivate them appropriately. Okay. In the next episode, we'll be talking about different ways of motivating your team. So I do hope that you guys learned something today. If you have some questions, comments, feel free to write that down in our comment section. Please do like and subscribe, hit on the notification button, and I'll see you on the next episode here at the Corporate Mechanic. Stay blessed.